You're listening to the We Are Libertarians Podcast Network. Find all of our shows at wearelibertarians.com. You're listening to the We Are Libertarians Network. Learn more at wearelibertarians.com.
Welcome to the Boss Hog of Liberty podcast. This is episode number 87 of East Central Indiana's favorite podcast. I'm Jeremiah Morrell, and today I'm joined by co-host Dakota Davis.
Today's episode features the return of our fan favorite guest, Mark Brim. Mark is from Wayne County, Indiana, and he's always been very well received in as far as like download numbers and things like that. We are going to be talking to him about the Doughboy controversy. We're going to put that to rest tonight. We're going to talk about government accessibility. My letter to the editor regarding straight ticket voting, as well as some speed rounds of some funky news stories. One is kind of funky, one really isn't funky. It's just an interesting topic. But I put it in there anyways, and we're going to listen to what Mark Brim has to say about that.
Mark is full of fun and frivolity. He comes in, and we never know what we're going to get. Yeah. He walks in today. By the way, this show is about our lives in rural Indiana. As always, we promise our episodes are going to be fun and easy listen. Mark comes in, and he's like, he makes the comment about third time I've been on the show, third different place.
Third place.
But then it's like, I found the most amazing thing ever as I come to town. He loves Newcastle. Mark loves coming to town.
It's a beautiful town.
And you spotted, it was like the Newcastle car culture.
I spotted John Voight's car. John Voight's Newcastle, Indiana. And it's for sale.
I said that when I bought my house, it came with Jerry Seinfeld's refrigerator. It's the same refrigerator Jerry had in his apartment.
I can envision it.
The old Kenmore. But you found John Voight's car. And
I'm going to even attach this in the comments of the Facebook Live just so people can see what we're talking about.
Yeah, you guys started talking about the episode of Seinfeld that comes from, and I've watched a lot of Seinfeld, and I knew the episode, but because I had no idea who he was.
You didn't know who John Voight was. You're like, no. I don't know who John Voight is.
Yeah. So it never stuck with me because of that. So, that's just the way the cookie crumbles, I guess.
So Mark works for a very prestigious private university in Wayne County that will never go to war. Is that dancing around it enough?
Will never go to war. Yeah,
they're pacifists.
You know, yes. I want to say for a buddy of mine out there, because I promised for all your pastured poultry needs, go to farmerbrad.com.
So that's exactly where I was going to go with this. Is we released a video from you, a couple weeks ago, maybe a couple months ago.
When I was taking care of Farmer Brad's chickens.
You were in charge of. Are they emotional support chickens? What were they called?
He raises. They are search and rescue chickens.
Search and rescue chickens. They're heroes, really.
They are heroes.
Do they lay down? Do they lay down like the dog zoo and they like can sense a dead body underground, or what do they?
No,
rescue?
They go looking for it.
Oh,
they
attach
seek
little reading lights onto them, and they go down underground and stuff. But
then
after they've outlived their useful existence, then he butchers them, of course. And this is pastured poultry, and it's great. So,
all right. Does he have eggs too?
No, I don't think so.
No eggs?
No eggs.
For himself. The hens just don't lay eggs?
No.
They're not commercial. I mean, they gave everything they had to the search and rescue operation.
Exactly.
So there are no eggs left at the end.
I understand.
Oh.
I told him I'd give him a plug.
The chickens have their tubes tied, if you will.
You can send the bill to him. The chickens did to get their tubes tied.
Well, we are looking for sponsorships on this show. We had the amazing sponsors through from Wyland's Flowers and Big Bounce and
the Slick Pickle.
And the Slick Pickle. Everybody loves
the Slick Pickle.
It's a bus service.
I asked you about this last time.
Yeah.
You need to get I was driving into town and I saw John Voight's car and I was excited. I just went through Hagerstown excited about that. I don't get out much. But then right when I get into Hagerstown, I see this big sign that says the Top Hat. What the hell's the Top Hat?
The Top Hat is a Pizza King.
Well, then why doesn't it say Pizza King?
Because there's 3 Pizza Kings in town and you have to differentiate yourself from the one on Q Avenue.
There's Pizza King, Top Hat, and Top Hat 2.
Yeah. I mean, don't go to Top Hat 2. Go to Top Hat 1.
Top Hat 1.
It's gotcha. Pizza by Alfredo or Alfredo's Pizza. They're very different.
Very different. What, do you have a bus inside of your Pizza King?
No, we do not.
By God, in Richmond, we have a bus. Inside
You guys do have. I've heard there's trains, Pizza Kings with trains, but you have a bus.
We have a double-decker bus.
Do you order with a phone?
Yeah.
What the heck
on
is
the
bus for?
It's awesome.
You sit on the bus.
You can sit in the bus.
Oh my God, Dakota! Why haven't you taken me to the Richmond Pizza King?
You've never been to
never.
Clara's Pizza King?
No.
I've only been once, and we didn't get to eat because we went there after Audrey's college graduation, and it was so packed. It was going to be like an hour and 10-minute wait. And
I can imagine for a Pizza King with a bus.
I was like, Pizza King is not worth an hour and 10-minute wait.
No.
It's worth $45.
$75
$45
for a 16-inch pizza, I believe.
Well,
it's very close.
You pay for quality.
But we almost got free Pizza King on election night from the Spiceland Pizza King.
Yep.
Really?
They were starting to feel bad for us. John Montgomery was down there watching. Who's John Wetzel?
John Wetzel?
Is he the dealer?
No.
Is he from those Wetzels?
Well, maybe. I don't know.
Could be.
He's a friend of mine from
Richmond?
Fourth grade, I think.
He says this is great, watching you. I don't know. He watches me on the internet.
Hello,
grade.
John.
It's hard to know.
Yeah.
Hard to know. I think I have a Wetzel Chevrolet in the driveway.
Not the auto dealer.
Not the auto dealer. No, good. I didn't think it would be that John Wetzel.
All right. We also had the sponsors, but we also had, of course, our Patreon people who stuck with us all the way through the candidate series. It was very stressful, so we didn't get to turn out all of the bonus content that we usually do. But we're getting back on track with that. I got some bonus content that I'm going to be releasing later this week, only for Patreon people, and it is the return of Tanner Purdue to the Boss Hog of Liberty. Now, he was supposed to have a 6-year ban from the show.
It's like a ban from the public airwaves versus the private airwaves. This is
you
have to pay money, so it's like HBO.
Correct. Yeah, that's exactly right. It's an HBO premium service. So if you get on patreon.com/Boss Hog of Liberty and you sign up at any level, including the $5 a month level, then you get access to all the bonus content that we put out. You get access to the show notes for the show. You get access to all kinds of stuff and little events that we've held at the studio to give tours of it in the past. So yeah, just hop on over there. I think we do a good job of trying to keep everybody happy, but it got pretty hectic for election season, and those guys are great, and they stuck with us throughout all of it. Appreciate the heck out of them.
So, yeah, Paul Copeland's in the chat and says Dakota Tanner also failed us. He didn't keep up with drawing me every day either.
No,
he was going to draw me every day, and I for a little while Ross Ticknor picked that up. And there's a lot of little drawings of me. Ross, by the way, congratulations if you're watching. I saw that you got engaged, so congratulations on that. Now that you're going to be married, I'm sure you have plenty of time to get back to drawing me. Ross would draw me, and then he realized I liked him drawing me, and then he stopped.
Yeah.
Once he figured out I liked it.
It's kind of like a bully.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't show that it bothers you.
Don't show that you like it, or he'll stop bullying you. So this week in the news, Dakota, you made the news. You made the news about me.
Yes,
it's like news inception on Boss Hog of Liberty.
Yes, it is. Yeah, well, and this time we had to stoop to the level of going to the old fashioned news of a newspaper, because we don't have the people that the newspaper has yet. Unfortunately, we're very close.
Well, what it does, it's like this. The media works in this echo multiplier,
mysterious ways.
Right? So you're a media member. You write something, you send it to the other media outlet, they print it, which legitimizes it, and then you reshare it like, oh my God, look at this in the paper.
That's right, yeah.
It only takes two people to make this whole thing.
Mm-hmm. That's right. And now everyone in the county has seen our wonderful letter to the editor in the Courier-Times talking about the straight ticket voting, the software system. You have it pulled up. Are you wanting me to just read it?
That was just to remind you of yourself. So basically, you have a letter to the editor. It's in the November 14th issue of the Courier-Times. And the headline is Voters Filling Blanks Get Error Note When Voting. And it's the same thing we talked about last week, but you wrote about how they spent over $700,000 on this new voting equipment. And
the kicker is offering a solution. So you
have a plan.
Yeah, you point out the problem, but if you're pointing out the problem, you don't offer a solution, then it's not going to get you anywhere.
This is one solution. This isn't the only solution. There's a lot of solutions.
It's the final solution, you might say. Was that too far? Was that too much?
No.
Okay.
Further.
Good.
Go further.
Okay. All right, good. But my solution was to put none of the above as a choice on the ballot. It would be really simple. to program that in. The simplest reasoning came up with this because in libertarian conventions, the way that we select our candidates for the ballots is we always have a none of the above option. So if two people are running for the nomination of an office and you don't like either one of those candidates, you can put none of the above and hope that other people align with you, and then you just don't put a candidate, or you go through the nominating process a second time. And my solution was to put that in on every single ballot.
So if somebody didn't like, we had some races, not just the county, the choices for a party in the straight ticket voting, but say you didn't want to vote for Rick McCorkle for the local sheriff, or you didn't want to vote for Ed Tarantino for commissioner.
And then
you could say, nope, none of the above. And then you really sent the message of that's not the guy for me.
Right.
I don't like it.
Yeah, instead of leaving it blank and all the confusion that came with that, I really think that this is the way to go. And a couple of people asked on last week's live stream of the episode, what can a person do to try to get the law changed? Well, in the seat that we're in, the way that we can fix this issue is to just raise awareness of it, keep pushing, email your legislators in the state house, email the governor, just keep bringing this up as an issue, and just be annoying as hell.
Let them all know, yeah. Any of them, any of the legislators that have been on this show. We've got a new senator for the Northern District. We got Gene Lysing in the South. We got Tom Saunders. I think Greg Walker is going to be the chair of the Senate Elections Committee.
Mm-hmm.
So he'd be a good one. Yeah, you can reach out to plenty of them. So, but this issue, we've been talking about it, and it's been big in the libertarian circles for the last week or so, discussing it. And if we go back, we went to the archives and found something from 2008. Mark, you've run for office as a libertarian.
Yes.
Do you remember the first year you ran? Was it 08 or 10 or when?
12 and 14.
You ran in 2012 and 2014. Yep. So this is from 2008, and this is a radio commercial that ran. I would imagine it probably was on Kix 96 in Richmond. But this was recorded and aired 10 years ago, talking about the perils of straight ticket voting. Mark doesn't have headphones, so we're going to just pretend. Or we can let Dakota's go over there.
Wayne County, Indiana. If you're going to take the time to vote, really take the time to vote. In 2006, 45% of Wayne County voters voted a straight party ticket. This November 4th, voting a straight party ticket could result in your casting no vote at all in up to 11 races in Wayne County, depending on the party you choose. Voting is too important to let the results be decided simply by placing a name on the ballot. The Libertarian Party of Wayne County urges you to study the issues, study the candidates, study the ballot, and take a couple of extra moments to make every vote count. Go ahead, split your ticket. We promise it won't hurt a bit.
Hi, I'm Rex Bell, your Libertarian candidate for District 54 representative.
So that's where it goes from there, and then it gets into the local candidates. But I didn't realize Mark didn't have headphones, so that's not as effective for Mark to weigh in over here. But
I can hear it just fine. Actually, that rings a bell. No pun intended.
Yeah, you may remember.
Yeah, I do remember that.
But yeah, the thing was they went back and it was 46% straight ticket voting in Wayne County at that time. We went up to 57% with this new equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we rose 17%. 56.
We went from 40 to 57 this time here.
Okay,
or 39 to 57.
But still an extreme amount. And that was from 2016. And straight ticket voting, like we said, I think we covered it last week, is historically always up during presidential years, which makes Henry County kind of an anomaly in the fact that we shot up so much during a midterm year. And those numbers kind of speak for themselves as far as our new voting software that we had on the machines in Henry County, where a voter would leave the ballot blank for a straight ticket party, and the voter would receive an error message that said that it basically kind of prompted you to go back. Like there was a go back button to go and make a selection again. And the error message came up and it had like the little triangle with the exclamation mark in it. Like, it threw me off. I'm the county chair for the Libertarian Party.
Well, they didn't ask you to help. They didn't ask you to help us pick out the machines or design the ballots.
They didn't.
So
they should
didn't
have,
get a chance to look at it ahead of time.
Well, if they had, then I wouldn't have had to put that letter to the editor in. But
so
here we are.
So that's that. we'll let that one lie for now.
Where do you want to go from here?
I think we want to talk.
Is it all the software, or is it just how polarized things are? In that both the red wave, the blue wave, you have to, if you love your country, vote red, vote blue. But also people who don't want to deal with the damn wheel and just screw it.
So you got the wheel in Wayne County.
We have the wheel.
In Henry County, we've got this voting equipment that drove the number up so high.
Yeah, we have a touch screen.
Oh, you have the touch screen seems intuitive to me. You can't touch you want to touch the screen. At least I do, but we have a wheel, and I just wonder how many people are just like
the wheel of voting in Wayne County.
Yes, you have to take the wheel, bloop, 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 through the thing. And
So I really do think, because I plotted a graph or I didn't do it. Danny Lundy actually.
You had a graph commissioned.
Yes. Danny Lundy made a pretty sweet graph for us, and it showed all three parties and the straight ticket voting going back, I think, to
2010, 2011, somewhere in there.
I thought it was 2008. Either way. So
Close enough for government work.
Yeah, it goes way back, and it's all very much the same. I mean, there is some movement, typically during presidential elections, there is a bump. But then but this year it just skyrockets. The Republicans had, I think, 3.5 times the amount of straight ticket voters. Democrats had three times the amount of straight ticket voters, and then Libertarians actually increased by double as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So I and not to crap on the Libertarian Party, but I think that our numbers doubling shows that the software was like that.
Yeah, that's exactly right. The equipment in our county definitely drove it up because you felt like you made a mistake. You had an error. But you guys can go back and listen to episode 86 if you want to.
Yeah, well, we talk about it more there.
All right, so I got myself in a little bit of hot water on Facebook again, as usual, on Saturday, because I came out with an opinion.
When are you guys stop doing that, Jer?
On your personal page?
On my personal page.
Yeah.
On my personal page. So I'll set this up, and you guys give me the feedback.
Okay.
Saturday morning, my bride and I, we make a date. I'm kind of romantic that way.
Really?
We're going to have government day.
You've been married for a few months now.
Yeah.
It should all be over, right?
Should be done with dating.
Yeah, done with all that, yeah.
Oh, I've got so much to learn from you, Mark.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But continue.
So I make it real romantic, and I said, we're going to have government morning. So we have, because we got married, we have this one sheet of paper that we got at the courthouse. We had to have it mailed to us because they're only open Tuesday to Friday or Monday to Friday for a few hours here and there. But they're not open on Saturdays at the courthouse. So I have one copy of my marriage certificate. Sarah got married to me, which meant her name changed. So we wanted to get her passport.
That's important.
Redo.
Remember that for later.
Okay.
That little snippet's
Got that.
important.
All right.
Yeah.
So we got married. Her name changed.
Very traditional.
Yes. She took my name. I didn't take hers. I'm
not
not
a hyphenated name.
Not hyphenated, no.
Very
no, I didn't want to sound
metropolitan of you.
So we know we need to go to the post office with this marriage certificate to send her passport away. We also have a title to her car that we need to get changed. It was in Sarah Potter's name, and now it's in Sarah Morrell's name. I have one document. I have the marriage certificate, and I don't know if when I get this title changed over, if I need to have this document or not.
Mm-hmm.
So I say, okay. The BMV website, you go to google.com, you type Indiana BMV. Yeah, they're going to be open from 9 till 1 o'clock on Saturday or whatever it is. They're open on Saturdays. They're closed Mondays, but they're open Saturday. Show up at the BMV. We are the only car there. Well, it's 9 o'clock. Maybe we're the first ones to get there. Nope. The doors are locked. The lights are off. And there's a little paper on the window that says, we are closed because of the Veterans Day holiday.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's Saturday.
Yeah, the Veterans Day was Monday,
It's
right?
Monday.
Yeah, when they're already closed.
No, Veterans Day was
Veterans
Sunday.
Day is Sunday.
Yeah.
Veterans Day observed is Monday for banks, for the Postal Service, so for federal holidays.
So they're already closed on the day that they should be closed to
Right.
the holiday.
So in my mind, I'm
Yeah.
thinking, well, y'all are closed that day anyway. Why would you be closed on Saturday?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I mean, I understand why they're closed Monday. I put this little snippet in the show notes that you could get if you signed up on Patreon. Everybody wants 2 days off after they work for 5 days. Some days it's not enough, so I understand why they're closed Monday, because being open Saturday makes them a lot more accessible to people like you who work a 9-to-5 job, and by the time you get back into town, they're already closed.
Right.
So I understand it.
And it's not me. It was for my wife, right? We made it a date. It was this whole romantic thing that we made where we're going to go together.
Oh, it really was?
We were going together. It was her.
Okay.
I was just her driver. But we were going. Her car was paid off, and we were going to go get the lien released. And hey, the title's in the different names, so we have this document. So now we're like, okay, well, crap. We can go to the post office. We can do the passport work, but we mailed the paperwork away. So now, in theory, if they need to have the marriage certificate, 3 weeks until we can do that.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Right? So that's the point. That's why I was annoyed, and it's not that I'm mad that they're taking Veterans Day for
people were asking
for the
this
DMV.
This is where the controversy started.
This is where the controversy.
You hate veterans.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
People were.
My father's a veteran. Each
got
of my
asked.
grandfathers fought in the wars.
Somebody asked Jeremiah, "Are you a veteran?"
That's always the first question.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite things that people do is ask you if you are something, and if you are not that thing,
You can't
your
have an opinion.
doesn't matter.
No.
It's
Right.
like asking, like if you have an opinion on birth control or anything. Well, you're not a woman, so you shouldn't have an opinion. Well, I mean, I have I can also read. I can reason with my mind. Just because I'm a man doesn't mean that I can't think about things. Like, I'm obviously not going to try to force anything on you because of my own personal beliefs, but I can still have an opinion.
So,
I mean, God, we can't just because of someone's skin color or their gender start telling them they can or cannot do things. We went through that in the 1920s and the 1960s.
This must have been a hell of a Facebook thread about the DMV.
It was. I don't think the DMV's had that much attention in a
Race
while.
and religion and
Yes.
Wow, birth control. Where did this come in?
Yeah, that was my own personal.
That's just Dakota worrying about it. But
Yeah.
that's the this is the conversation we've had a number of different times in different ways. Is government doesn't seem to be designed to be consumer facing.
They don't care.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you go to the passport thing. I think we could go from 9 to 11. If you want to go to the Newcastle, Indiana post office and you want to get passport work done on a Saturday, not during the regular day, on the weekend, you have a 2-hour window. The passport window is open from 9 to 11, and that's when they'll come in and they'll take your picture and you can fill out the forms. If you come at 11:01, sorry, man, you got to come back on Monday or Tuesday. Well, not Monday because we're closed Monday, but come back Tuesday. Or
So
if you couldn't do it, you got to come back Saturday morning.
That was a big issue in your campaign this past year was because our Justice Center, courthouse, whatever, it's all our county government is closed Mondays.
The clerk's office is not, but the rest of county government is.
Right, and but it's not like they're open Saturdays.
Correct.
So they only have a 4-day work week.
And many times people close for lunch.
Yeah.
Right. So they're gonna close for lunch. The whole office closes for lunch.
So I got this question a couple times during your campaign personally because I publicized it a little bit, and we got some feedback from some government employees that they didn't like it. Was you saying that they needed to be open Monday to Friday again, just like regular businesses are? But I did get the question of why is Jeremiah making this campaign issue? Doesn't a libertarian want to save money? And I was like, well,
It's not saving any more money.
It's all about transparency.
Government needs to be accessible to the people in every way we can make it, and it needs to be as transparent as possible. Those are two tenets of being able to deal with government. I deal with them every day in my day job. I spend time trying to find results on public work, something the government sold, looking for copies of contracts, looking for bonding information on public jobs, looking for copies of election results that I still can't find online for precinct-by-precinct data. Things that other counties have. Wayne County does a great job with that, where it's posted immediately, and you can find it. Rush County, Morgan County, those places have it available. Henry County doesn't. We don't make a focus on making government as transparent as possible and as easy for constituents and consumers to use the services as possible. Instead, we look at it as a money-making business or you're inconveniencing me, so we're going to charge you a fee to make it harder to deal with us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
exactly right.
That's the frustration that I have.
So you hit a wall with the DMV thing.
Yeah.
In that,
but it's the same. It's another straw on the same pile, right?
And the main controversy was just that
they're closed on Saturday.
People were mad though at you because basically they thought you were denying them having Veterans Day off. Is that where?
Yes, that's what it was.
Okay.
The argument was that
gotcha.
it was posed in a question, first of all, of just the very first comment, Jeremiah, are you a veteran? And he said, well, I have a
My family's
long
full of
family
veterans.
history of veterans. And
I've always been too fat to be a veteran.
and this person
I
came
would
back
have never
and was
passed
like,
the test.
was like, wanted to say Jeremiah was trying to hide the truth and all this BS. And it turned into a big hoopla. Which leads me to one of the points in the speed round of the news with Mark Brim, getting your thoughts.
Yes.
Because I think that the people want to hear this. It's very important. I found this article on ndtv.com, which basically was just a link that I pulled up from Drudge Report because it's what I follow. I
forgot about Drudge Report. Does the
Really?
website still look the same as it did
It
in
looks the exact same,
1998?
like it's from like 1993.
I need to check that out.
Yeah, it's great.
I forgot about
They
it.
don't
It's probably
change
the one
things.
place you would be comfortable on the internet.
Drudge Report and Craigslist. And
Yeah, Craigslist is the same way.
yeah.
So this was an article about a lady named Bailey Richardson, and she was one of the founders of Instagram. She helped write the code for the website and do all the setup. And she came out in the news as saying that she has deleted her Instagram account and she's deleted all of her social media. And she is not the first person from Silicon Valley of the social media startups to delete their Facebook or their Twitter or Instagram totally. Just get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
So
I want out. Let me out, Jerry.
Yep.
yeah,
Totally out.
Getting
Went out
out.
of the Postal Service.
and it's this weird thing, I think, because I have a Google Pixel, and with the last update that
It's
we
a
got,
beautiful phone.
it is. I love it. But with
Is
the
this
last
the phone right here?
That's
yeah,
nice.
big.
This is it. It's
Wow.
huge. Nah, you can call that a fab what? He's talking about the iPad audio only listeners. But I my Google Pixel with the last update, and I think that Apple did this as well. You can now go. There's a little place in the settings tab, and it's called Digital Wellbeing, and you can look at how much FaceTime you spent on each app.
My
Mhm.
iPhone keeps annoying me, saying, "Hey, you spent 21% less screen time last week," and I'm like, "I didn't even turn this on. I don't know what this is about. I
Mine
don't
looks
care."
horrible because I drive around with my phone open on the dash.
That's what the problem
because I keep my music playing through Bluetooth. So if I want to skip songs, then it's better to have it than try to mess with putting a code in and everything. So it says I have like 7 hours of FaceTime on my phone a day, and I'm like, that makes me look like a really horrible person. But it's not that bad. I thought about it and I was like, oh, this is why I can keep being addicted.
I don't have a problem at all. I just have to have one in each pocket.
Yeah.
That's all I need. One phone in each pocket.
Well, they act like they're giving you a readout to better improve yourself when really they're just collecting all your data. It's another way to kind of, yeah.
But I
keep
can
it
remember
here.
whenever like MySpace was starting up, it was a big thing, and everybody had their MySpace profile, and you could put in all of your stuff in it that says like had like your favorite songs, and you could put little like virtual pets on your Facebook wall and stuff, and you could do all that, or Facebook wall, MySpace wall. And it was an amazing thing. Then Facebook became a thing, and we were all obsessed with that. And now people are worried because we're spending too much time on it.
Yeah, it's the cycle. And then the news will sensationalize it and talk about why it's going to kill you or kill your kids or whatever.
Well, I
That's
think
just
it's
the way
going
it
to kill
goes.
us.
You do think it's going to kill us.
Now, I did see somebody was joking about, Facebook went down for like 10 minutes earlier this week, and people freaked out, and they were talking about how MySpace was going to come back instantaneously over it. And then there was a joke about on MySpace. I was never on MySpace, but you had your top 8 friends ranked or whatever.
Yes, you did.
And I thought, oh my God, I would be so petty about not being in somebody's top 8.
Oh, everyone was.
Yeah.
That's what made. That's part of what made MySpace great, is because like you were like, well, he made me mad today.
Bye.
You're not on my top 8 friends anymore.
Bye, Audrey.
Wow.
That's
Yeah,
that.
I never touched MySpace, but
Oh, really?
I'm torn on this because I've heard of this happening. I'm torn on this because I work in marketing.
Yeah.
So of course I should love social media. At the same time, it can be toxic. 'Cause
Yes,
what do we
it-
put? We
totally.
put forward. Not all of us. I don't think
I don't
do.
put forward my best.
A lot of people.
Absolutely
they put
not.
forward their best.
No, you get
No.
just
Their
you
best
get
side, their vacation and everything, and it does make people feel a little bit empty. And I fall victim to it too. I'll scroll
yeah.
through and I'll see some son of a bitch from high school with a new car. How do you have a new car, buddy?
Wetzel. How'd Wetzel get that
yeah,
new car?
yeah, John. Let's see your car.
So
And so I can see that, and so I force myself to get off of it
Every
a
time
lot of time.
every time I look at Facebook, Mark's bragging about his vintage Chevrolet truck.
So
Bragging about my
doing
85
doing
Chevy.
this, prepping for this episode, I was writing the show notes. I found this article, and I thought, wow, it's going to be really neat if I can link my old MySpace profile and just see if I can get traffic to that website again. And
We should create a MySpace page.
I couldn't remember my email or my password. I have no idea what email I had back then. I know that my best friend at the time was Braden Haskett, and he came over to my house and we sat at my parents' desktop.
You need to get him to log in and then see if he can find your old email if it's linked on there.
Well, whenever we set up my account, I didn't have an email. I was so young, I didn't have an email, and he was like, "Oh, you don't actually have to have an email. You can just type something in and put @hotmail.com at the end." And I can't remember.
So you're trying to find a completely BS account.
Yeah, I have no idea what it is. Yeah, it's very difficult.
Problematic.
So then, of course, when you click forgot password, it's like check your email. I don't know what
there wasn't any
is.
texting at the time. It couldn't text you if you wanted to. What you need to do is find somebody that was your MySpace friend, see if it'll figure out what that Hotmail account was, and then go create that Hotmail account.
Yes,
That's
a great
what you need
idea.
to do.
Yeah,
That's
and then
my
I
plan.
can be like a 48-year-old man that still has their Hotmail instead of a Gmail.
You'd be surprised at how many of my customers down in Kentucky still have SBC Global Net or Hotmail.
Wow,
A lot of people do.
huh? I know. My grandmother still has @comcast.net.
Sam Goldstein, the former chairman of the Libertarian Party of Indiana, at AOL.com.
AOL. Ooh,
Wow.
I remember AOL coming out and the chat rooms being a big thing, but I was too young to participate. My parents wouldn't let me.
We
get
were
in
on
the chat
Mark,
rooms.
were you on the ICQ?
I was on AOL. ICQ is.
ICQ was the first instant messenger that I ever had.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, I remember we had dial-up AOL, late 90s, I guess.
Yeah.
Mid-90s?
So-
I can't remember.
Social media across the board
Born in the mid-90s.
is reporting millions of losses.
John Phillips is in the chat. I'm still on AOL.
But social media, they're all the big three are reporting millions of losses just every 6 months. I think Twitter reported 10 million less website visits in the last 6 months.
I went down the rabbit hole on on Snapchat. Are you on Snapchat, Mark?
No.
Of course not.
No.
So I don't know. There's they
You
added
love
a,
Snapchat.
They
You
added
really
a whole.
would.
Oh, you
they
think
added a
so?
whole other tab. There's your friends, and then there's your stuff you do, and then there's a third tab on the right on Snapchat now, and it's just people and stories and
Famous
things.
people. Weird.
And I have no idea who the hell these people are.
I don't
click
care.
on it. So I went down the rabbit hole yesterday, and I clicked on it. I'm like, okay, this is some guy. I don't know why he's famous. So then I look him up and I Google him, and I'm like, the only thing this guy has is an Instagram. I did 5 times. These people are Instagram famous, and I have no idea how the hell they became Instagram famous.
Oh,
Yeah, there's
There's lots of that. And Instagram models. That's a thing,
Yeah,
too.
they just that's
Joe
all they
Rogan.
do.
Joe Rogan was talking about this the other day, where it's this whole new level of comedy, which is just kind of going to show up in next week's episode. Is
Mason.
before whenever you were trying to become a comedian, it was you had all the proper channels to go through. Rogan was talking about whenever he was coming up being a comedian, it was you had to follow these steps, talk to these specific people, and then maybe you could make it someday.
Right.
And now it's just the floodgates have opened, and there are thousands upon thousands of comedians in the world, and it's all because the people know their names from Instagram and Snapchat and Twitter and Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
And now those sites are losing. They're in a decline. So what's that going to do to all these worlds that social media has created? You said you're in the marketing. What's that going to do to your world now that if social media just totally crashes?
I don't think it will.
You don't think it will?
Millions of people are leaving, but how many people are signing on?
Yeah, they're not. We're not.
I mean,
getting rid
it's
of
not
social
going
media.
anywhere, but
I hope it dies.
you hope it dies?
Yeah.
I don't think
really
it will
do.
die.
We
But
can
I
only
would
come-
like to see it become something different.
I love Twitter.
The reason I stay on Facebook is because practically all Libertarian Party business is conducted there, and the Boss Hog of Liberty podcast.
It's huge. It's our base.
Yeah.
Facebook is our base. All the boomers who hate us, and then the young people. All of our friends.
You have haters?
Oh my God, yeah,
what
we
do
have
you
haters.
do
now.
that
We have a
would
lot of
have
haters.
Well, we have Chase on the show.
Old people.
We voice our opinions.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's 'cause
Yeah,
they're dumb.
So my dad, one thing I thought about with this social media thing is my dad, whenever I was growing up, had this T-shirt. It was a graphic tee that said "Kill your TV."
Oh, I have that shirt.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. It's the cutoff one.
We welcome Chase Payton to the show, everybody.
It's cutoff. Yeah, I stole that from you at church camp one year.
That's my dad's shirt.
I still have it.
That's so good. Okay, but he had that shirt, and then I started thinking about this in my head, and I was like, started getting this disdain for social media in my head, and I thought, I'm becoming my father, and I'm going to buy a black T-shirt that says "Kill your laptop" or something. Mm-hmm. Delete Facebook.
Shoot a laptop.
Yeah, I don't know. I love my laptop, so
you're listening to the Boss Hog of Liberty podcast, episode number 87 of East Central Indiana's favorite podcast. I'm Jeremiah Morrell. We got Dakota Davis. Mark Brim is on the far side wearing his plaid shirt. I'm wearing my plaid shirt, and Chase Payton has joined us, and he's in a plaid shirt.
What's up, man?
You look so good today.
Thanks, dude.
we got your Bud Light. I hope you're happy.
It's not lime, but orange is pretty good.
Look,
I'll take it.
Hey, Mark, I want to show you something.
Yeah, let's see this.
I hope that one's big enough.
You can
It's just the right
see
size.
that little emblem right there.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
You can scan that with your phone, and it'll take you to Bud Light's Snapchat.
And then
Ooh.
And you can see all the things that they put on it.
I bet
I
there's some Bud Light
delegated-
girls on there.
I do social media through work. I delegated. I have student workers.
good?
And I delegated. Snapchat is delegated to them. I didn't delegate, but they do that. They've showed me what they do. I don't know. I don't know what it's about. I see rabbit ears and dog ears and stuff. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
I'm too
Jeremiah,
old.
The
ask
filters.
me what I did this Sunday.
Oh, so Chase was supposed. We're going to get into this in a minute, but Chase was supposed to hang out with us on Sunday when we had our media hats on, and instead, you said I can't. I was going to go hunting Sunday or Saturday, but my dad stood me up, so I had to go hunting on Sunday instead.
Yes,
What
I went hunting.
How did it go?
I didn't see a thing, but I did go home and I watched my Bears beat Christy Avery Lions' ass.
Ooh,
Oh.
boy.
It was a blowout.
That's some
It
pretty
was
strong
great.
language.
Yeah,
Yeah, Rexfeld
ass.
just joined. Don't say ass.
We're not.
But
Mike Broyles thinks you
Buttocks.
proposed.
Caution. We are not family
no,
friendly.
I did not.
Oh.
She's not
propose.
watching.
This may be a very unfamily friendly show. As soon as Mark agreed to do the show on Tuesday, we did a
Was
terrible
it-
job of promoting this.
Yeah.
Mark went into our group chat that we used to plan the thing.
You're not
and-
going to say the words I said, are you? I
And
hope you
all
don't.
of everybody got a nickname,
Oh, good.
and I don't want my mom to know any of them.
I just let it go crazy in that podcast, in that chat. I just let it all out
We can tell Chase
because you guys are unfazed by anything I say.
Yeah, we don't care.
Yeah.
Chase's
It's great.
nickname was Zuck's Informant.
Now that one was not. That
I
was-
made that.
You made
Yeah.
that.
I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I only watch people. I don't really comment.
You're a lurker.
I know.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
the biggest lurker.
Definitely
Lurkers
a
creep
lurker.
me out.
Well,
All right, so Chase,
The look.
let's get into Sunday.
Before we get into that, I want to make fun of Chase some more.
yes.
I was looking for Chase today to add him to a chat for next week's show. We're going to have a big announcement. Brent Terhune's going to be on the show next Tuesday. There is no Thursday show because we have to be with our families, unfortunately. So instead of being together as a big community here on the Boss Hog, we're going to give you a show early on Tuesday. You have to suffer through Thursday on your own. Thoughts and prayers. But I'm looking for Chase, and somehow it finds these old pictures of Chase Payton. And just like I did to Dakota probably a year ago when I found old pictures of 8th grade Dakota, I found Chase as probably a sophomore.
That was the first picture was from when I was 13. The second one was from when I was 15.
It was just teen angst Chase
I was
taking bathroom pictures.
Let me tell you, I was a stud.
Those are not angst.
I took several
Chase-
pictures in front of that bathroom mirror.
Okay, think of an 8th grade boy. You got Chase. Like that.
So I just
maybe a 10th grade.
No, I was talking like
In the pictures?
Yeah, like
oh yeah, no, that's
you're very
your typical eighth
very
grader.
typical.
That was me in those pictures.
wearing a light blue Hollister shirt.
every
Both
one of them was
pictures
like
had a
American
Hollister.
Eagle, Hollister, or whatever.
Yeah, taking bathroom mirror selfies.
I had the little face
The little
going
duck
on.
face
Yeah,
before it
and a
was
little-
thing.
Same haircut though.
Yeah,
I'm
same
sure that's
haircut.
what
My
Mark-
haircut has stayed the
sometimes.
same since I was 12.
I think.
I got Angie working on a special haircut for me
Do you?
at MVP Barbershop. Yep. I have
This
to let
isn't
the
a special haircut?
no. I have to let the top grow out.
This is
for
the
it,
usual.
though.
You've almost got a pompadour started.
I
What's
think
going on
Well,
here?
that's the yeah.
Oh, is that what we're doing?
That's where we're going.
Oh,
A bald
Right
fake
now,
pompadour.
you look like a magnet I would buy at like some store in Minneapolis or something.
in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
that Minneapolis.
When
I've,
Mark
I've
and I
never been
were-
there, but I like it.
When Mark and I were kids, if we wanted to do
So
a
you say,
bathroom,
wait, so this guy's a youngster too?
yeah, Chase is like 22, 23,
23.
23.
Jesus Christ! And you're
He's
20,
22.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 35. You're 35.
I'll be 36 in 2 days.
Yeah, we're both 35. Happy
Yeah.
birthday, Mark. Old. Do you want a refill? You good? We can hook
I
you
can
up.
grab one for
I
you.
think I'll grab a beer. But
All right. Well, you go do what you're gonna do.
You can.
Hey,
But
Mark,
I was gonna reminisce. Don't run away yet.
Mark,
When you
grab
and I
one
were
of those-
kids,
grab one of those dunkles. You'll really like
a
it.
dunkel.
when you and I were kids, if we wanted to do a bathroom selfie, we had to get mom and dad's Polaroid out,
I had to get the Polaroid.
and then go to the bathroom, and then take a picture, and then flip the Polaroid and make sure it
Polaroids.
worked out.
They're coming back.
Yeah, that's what the
Polaroids are
pictures
back.
use.
Can you still buy the film?
Yes, yeah, they're
Really?
coming. Like, if you have an old one,
Yeah.
you can sell those for big bucks on eBay right now.
Really?
Hipsters love them to take pictures of their craft beer.
Mark
in
is an
front of-
accidental hipster.
Yeah.
We discovered that on the last episode.
Yeah, it's
I-
literally
'cause I
this
took the-
line has crossed, and you dress as a hipster, but it's really just the way Mark's always been.
It makes me sad. It makes me very sad.
Go get a refill. We're going to talk about Sunday. All right. Sunday was the Doughboy rededication in Henry County's own Memorial Park. We have covered this story extensively from the very beginning, whenever the controversy first began and people started to get riled up about the Doughboy statue, which is a World War I memorial in Henry County's Memorial Park. It was being relocated. It was being relocated to in front of a brand new Veterans Museum that was being remodeled on the inside. People were not happy. There's a lot of historical significance to the old site, and they just a lot of people didn't want it to change.
A lot of stupid people.
There was, I was going to say there was good points on both sides, but whatever. Anytime that we've talked about it, anytime that we've posted about it, it's always resulted in a very heated debate.
The
on
Doughboy
Facebook.
for this program has been like Daylight Saving Talk, Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame, or class basketball. It is the lightning rod issue for this program, and as I'll just say it, we're going to suffer because it's settled now, and
Yep.
the clicks are going to end.
Well, that's true.
No, it's never over.
So Doughboy is the polarizing
The Doughboy
Newcastle-
statue, the
Statue.
World War I veteran
Yeah.
guy with his grenade in his hand throwing it.
So there
It's
had
the
to,
issue.
here's the issue, Mark. There was some vandalism that had been done to the Doughboy, and he desperately needed to be restored. So he had a lot of vandalism, and he had also been sitting in the same spot for about 89 years and hadn't been touched. And obviously, people need some restoration after 89 years, you know,
Yeah.
knee replacements and stuff.
Maybe double knee replacement.
But I made a shoulder surgery joke last week. So
Oh, well. This
now
is,
I'm making a knee replacement joke.
He's very funny.
Yeah, I am. So
It's
There
even
was
better
some-
when he explains.
do you
all of
perform
his
this at the
jokes.
Top Hat?
I do not.
Oh,
They
okay.
do not let me there.
Dakota, there's a professional comedian coming next week. He gets paid to be
Ooh.
funny.
Well,
Don't tell your Doughboy joke.
Why?
I don't know. It just doesn't feel.
I think you should
If
try it on him.
Knee
I
replacement.
think if I can make him laugh, then I've won. Okay. Anyway, so some vandalism had been done. He was vandalized in the 80s, I think. Someone had sawed off his hand.
80s,
Yeah,
early
somebody-
2000s, I think.
It's all the same. Yeah, the rifle was gone for 6 years, and it finally got returned. And then somebody tried to pull it down, and it got listed back. So there've been a couple of different.
Yeah, someone had tried to pull it down with a truck, right?
The hell is wrong with you
and his
people?
ankles were bent, and on the statue, desperately needed the repair. But it was the moving issue that people had a problem.
So it was
with.
down. It was down for a year. Went to Michigan, got rehabbed, and the committee that put it together said, "Hey, it's been out of sight, out of mind. Nobody sees it. Very few people know where it's at. You could see it on State Road 3 if at the exact instant you were driving by, you looked to the west and you saw it, but if you missed it, then it was over. It was very close to the
I think the
maintenance
whole
supply
county-
area.
The whole county, except for
the
the
park.
people that have been to it up close, thought that he was waving at you, but he was really in the midst of throwing a grenade.
I see.
So
Yeah.
the statue's been relocated in front of the W.G. Smith building right off of County Road. I think it's County Road 100 North.
I have no idea.
100 or 150. I think it's 100. I never know. It's the Memorial Park Road. So it's there now, and there was a big ceremony, dedication ceremony, and we live streamed the dedication ceremony, and we live streamed the actual unveiling.
The big
the,
unveiling. But we,
Ooh.
as the media empire and the great source of information that we are, had the very first picture of the Doughboy in his new location. And we were the
right
first
place,
ones
right
to
time.
ever publish it
Yeah.
because Cade Coger happened to be driving by at the same time that they had just installed it and snapped a picture before they covered it up. And it sparked a huge debate. We got so much reach out of that thing. But anyway,
Because people don't want it in the new location?
correct. Yes.
There is a very organized and unhappy group that said that the American War Mothers placed it on the original location, and they dedicated it there, and it belongs to the War Mothers, and that's where they put it.
Fair enough.
So who are you to move it? That's the
What
the other side
irks
of the
me
argument.
about these people, okay,
What do you mean by these people?
the old people. Okay, so the walking graveyard
beginning to
of
understand.
the community is they make a fuss over it being moved, but they didn't care enough to make a fuss about it looking like shit for X amount of years. So they shouldn't have an opinion on it. It bugs me, man.
Does it bother you?
It irks me.
Really bothers you that bad?
It really bothers me. Old people make me mad on stuff like that.
I've said from the beginning, I really would have liked to seen another memorial put there because I think a memorial to our people in like our generation that have gone over to the Middle East and sacrificed, and they're not memorialized in the park.
Yeah.
And if we're going to I thought if we were going to have a new area, a new museum, then a new monument would have been really great. However, this is paid for largely in part. Was it just largely in part or totally?
I think the Memorial Park Board, when I was there, we authorized a little bit of seed money to help with the project. I think it was I'm going to say between $6,000 and $8,000 of
not much.
Yeah,
like
a very minimal. It was
73
about
or something.
about a $70,000 price tag for the project, cash and in kind. But I think about $6,000 to $8,000. I'm a little fuzzy on the actual number at this point because it was over a year ago. But
the vast majority of it was privately funded money that came from it. So I also understand you can't just go, well, you're paying for this, but I'm going to tell you what to do. Like, that's not how it really works. These people had a plan, and they were going to stick to it.
So
And it's more visible now.
it's very visible.
I've lived here
and
much more
accessible.
all my life.
It really does look great.
You can see it up close.
If you would have asked me to point it out before at its original spot, I wouldn't have been able to point it out. I did not know where it was at.
I think, and I predicted, I don't know, maybe in March, that this is going to be this way that Henry County went up with two doughboys, and that maybe what happens is somebody comes back through and says, "Hey, let's add another one," and it privately gets raised, and the funds come in, and it actually happens. Part of me thinks that would be great. The other part of me says, "Here, Mark. Here's a picture of the newly dedicated location." That's viewed from the back, looking out towards the ponds, and there's another view of it looking towards the buildings. Tony Roach, if you guys find Tony Roach on Facebook, he's got a bunch of great pictures of it. I really do want to see the Iraq and Afghanistan guys get a monument.
I do too.
In a memorial out there.
That'd be really cool.
They're obviously the most recent generation to go, and we see that the tremendous amount of suicides and loss of life both over there and then after with the PTSD. I think those guys really do need a spot. Chris Guffey was with us. He does behind the scenes work for Boss Hog of Liberty. He ran the camera and did the real work. Scott Fleener, who's been on this show, he was out there as a veteran recording. He did the actual high profile video.
Oh, did Scott?
Yeah, Scott was the guy that had two cameras set up, and then he had his mobile rig set up for the actual unveiling. So they're going to have some professional video shot. Scott did that. So a couple of young veterans that served in these recent wars, they need a spot out there too. I don't know if that should be on the old site of the Doughboy. I'm not sure that that's the right location. Maybe once the Expo Center is built and the old barns come down, the 4-H barns, that's going to be some big green space, and that'd be a great spot. Not far from the Doughboy, not far from the cannon that General Bundy captured. Somewhere in there, I think that'd be a great spot for the War on Terror or the Iraq and Afghanistan guys to have a spot. So
we also I don't think we have anything commemorating Vietnam veterans in the park, do we?
Well, the new Doughboy location has the names of a lot of the people. There are bricks, and I know that Kathy Hamilton was on. Her husband was killed in Vietnam, and there's a brick out there for him. There's one for the first Persian Gulf War that's been dedicated. There's one for the USS Hyman. But basically, the main memorial that's up front was built, and that's an all wars memorial.
Okay.
So that one includes, at the time, it was put up in the 70s. So that is World War I, World War II, Korea, and Vietnam.
All right.
So those guys all have their names, the ones that were lost from Henry County. Those 4 wars, and there may be more, but at least those 4. I think it's the All Wars Memorial. They are all listed.
So, Mark.
It sounds like what would be good in the interim, at least for the Doughboy itself, a controversy would be to have a plaque in the original location stating what was there and where it's at now, and the efforts that went to rehabilitate it. Sounds like if I may descend upon from Wayne County to solve all of your problems.
I think that's a great idea.
I will come
Saw the baby in half.
And you need bike lanes here, too.
You make Chase happy,
lanes.
and that's almost impossible.
And I'm old, right?
No, you're not old.
Good.
He's older than me. He's the oldest guy in the room.
So, Mark, my last section here is going to tie us back into our social media.
Okay.
Because, like I said before, every time that we have posted about this, put a picture, talked about it on our show, always resulted in heated debate. Mm-hmm. So the people who have fancied themselves the opposition to the move, they protested a couple of park board meetings, showed up with signs and T-shirts and bracelets and things.
Is this a large group or just the few and the loud?
Okay, well that's where I'm going with this. So they've always made a presence on social media. They did put the legwork in and actually go to the meetings and try to affect change. Mm-hmm. So they decided that there was going to be an organized effort the same day as the rededication of the Doughboy in front of the new War Museum. All right? Mm-hmm. So they decided we're going to counter-program this event. We're going to protest this event, but we're not going to protest it and be disrespectful to the veterans.
Thankfully,
that are
they were very...
Which is good.
Mm-hmm. They didn't make a scene.
And they said, we're going to show up, we're going to go to the previous site of the Doughboy and have our own Veterans Day meetup there. I thought, well, if you're going to counter-protest, that's the way to do it, I think. Yeah. And so kudos to them for that. But there was about 200 people at the dedication site.
The Smith Building
upstairs.
At the new one.
At the new dedication site.
It was overflowing. There were 200 chairs set up. Every chair was full, and then around the exterior of the room, it was completely full. That was a video when we were shooting video. When Guffey was shooting video, I took a picture, and you could see that it was just completely standing room only.
Yeah, it was.
So what were the numbers
it was
at the
packed.
counter?
At the counter, there was only 5, 6, 7 people.
Yeah,
there
were a handful of pictures that I saw that were on social media. And
so
there
obviously,
were 7 people.
Obviously, not every person that supports or opposes something is going to show up somewhere. As we've ran campaigns and hosted meetings for the Libertarian Party, and as you've done in Wayne County, we all know that people are much more confident over the phone or on Facebook telling you they're going to show up, then they don't, right? Okay.
We have that in Richmond.
So
Check
with
out our
that
forums.
in mind, do you think that a lot of this controversy that we've seen on social media has been blown out of proportion given the numbers?
I would say so for sure.
I think it's hard to ignore it. I really do.
There was a big crowd at at one of the park board meetings as well.
There was,
there were probably 30 to 40 people at that. And then the crowd in Newcastle for Veterans Day, Lieutenant General Bruce Harris spoke, who is from Newcastle. He doesn't live here any longer, but that was a big crowd as well. I was blown away at the number of people that attended that. That was really cool. as a guy that served on the park board and seeing that many veterans. We had a 100-year-old veteran from World War II.
Wow.
That was in attendance. There were Korean War veterans, Iraq, Afghanistan, Vietnam. All the wars we could still have guys from. They were there.
I said before the show that we were going to be putting the Doughboy issue to rest on this episode. But now I don't think that's the case. I think he's going to continue to pop up in our lives. We're going to keep you filled in, listener. Forever and ever. We're going to be 80 years old, and they're going to be trying to move it, and we're going to be so upset.
There are those that are very concerned that it's not protected safely in the new location.
Hell, if they try to move it again in like 3 years, then I'm going to be very angry
now
because I'm going to have to do
know
it
where
all
it's
over
at.
again.
So
there are cameras installed. There are a number of videos that are or the video cameras that are installed that are looking at it, and it's very visible that it's under view. So if you try to steal it, you're going to end up with cuffs on.
So more people see it. Increased visibility means decreased chance of being vandalized.
Yes.
I really don't see the problem here.
It's not in the original location.
Plaque.
So in the old location, basically, if you had to park by the superintendent's home, which is next to a maintenance shed, and then you walked over, or you had to do about a quarter-mile hike across grass and some really muddy ground to get to it. It was not an easy place to get to.
And the
previously.
mosquitoes.
Now you can get to it. You can park close by. There's handicap parking. You can view it. You can get up close. You can see it. You can look at it from a distance. And then there's a veterans museum that's literally 15 feet beyond it. And then there's a couple nice new benches that were dedicated. Lieutenant General Harris has a bench, and I believe there's another family that has a bench.
All right, Mark, I got another story for you.
Okay, let's hear it.
I want to
wind farms.
No, we want to know your thoughts on this issue. We're not. We've already talked about the Doughboy. We're not talking about the wind farms.
Playing the hits with the.
Oh yeah,
That's too much for one episode.
not in my backyard.
So another article I found on Drudge Report. This comes from Telegraph.
Yeah.
And this is an obesity pill aims to kill hunger by expanding in the stomach. It is an all-natural gelatinous pill. Has like citric acid and things. All kinds of. It's only made up of 2 ingredients. I know one's citric acid, but I can't remember what the other one is. But whenever you swallow it, it expands in the stomach by nearly 100 times its original size.
That's scary.
So you swallow this.
Wasn't that on Willy Wonka? Didn't that happen? Didn't the girl
That's the exact same thing I thought of. Yes, we were on the same page,
Great minds
Mark.
think alike.
You swallow this pill, it expands in your stomach, and it's supposed to make you feel
full.
stuffed. Not just full.
You feel stuffed.
You feel stuffed, like you've overeaten. So you're supposed to eat just a little bit, then swallow this pill, and then you wait, and you're like, wow, am I full? Like that overly satisfied feeling that you get whenever you eat at like Buffalo Wild Wings or something.
This is one of those things like I wouldn't want to try first.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I don't see this whole with Audrey working in medicine research. It's
what does she say?
I didn't ask her about it. She's been working a lot.
Okay.
But anyway, so let's go back. My first thought was Willy Wonka, and then I thought, are humans going to be pigeons whenever like they eat rice at weddings?
Oh yeah, they'll explode.
You think humans will explode too?
You're going to go 100 times the size, I think.
Oh yeah.
What if
the pill's going to be 100 times, or your stomach's going to be 100 times the size?
What if you're like, oh, here's my ibuprofen, and then you popped 3 of them?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Boom.
Yeah. That would be
goner.
bad.
I just don't understand.
I imagine it like that spray foam insulation. You know what I mean? That really just spans, and you're just like spraying it in your mouth, and then all of a sudden it just.
Does it eventually shrink?
Well, the article didn't say anything about
I
the shrinking.
would imagine it goes out and then just slowly disintegrates.
Yeah.
I don't know. Why am I saying I imagine what it looks
What do you think about it?
Well,
Do you
I
think
think
that it's a viable option for
bullshit.
people to lose weight?
like? No.
You lost a lot of weight. I'm trying to get your opinion.
So about 10 years ago, I lost 100 pounds. I kept it off for 10 years, and I unlocked the secret. Eat less, goddammit.
So if you stop eating, you'll lose weight.
If you eat less.
Okay.
So I used to eat more, and then I thought one day, I was like, well, by God, I feel kind of fat, and I thought, I'll eat less.
I used to be.
And people have these apps, calorie counters, and keto diet, and step counters. Eat less.
I used to be much larger. I'm still pretty damn big, but I used to be much
over
larger.
the years you've lost.
Yeah, I'm down like 65
Wow.
or so. I'm still got a long way to go, but I just eat different. I don't eat less, but I eat different. I haven't had a carb in like 3 months.
Oh, really?
No, it's been. I haven't had like unrefined flour or potatoes. I haven't had a potato in forever. Potato has been a very long time.
Really?
Like a year and a half.
I don't think about those things.
Yeah.
I don't know what nutrition is. I just eat less. And I do exercise and stuff, but I don't. I don't.
You
really
walk to
think
work
about
every day.
Yeah, it's a 3-minute walk.
Would you have tried the gelatinous pill?
No.
You wouldn't have?
No. I just.
I feel like I'd try anything twice.
Because that's
I've said
something-
before.
Unless you want to take it for the rest of your life, because the one thing I did, I don't really fall into a lot of the, I don't know, kitschy kind of things and stuff, but it's a lifestyle change because people go on these diets or they'll try to cut, no more, I'm going gluten and dairy free. Just change your life. And it is actually easy to just change your life. You just have to rewire your brain. And the best thing to do is you get on a treadmill and you run your ass off and you see that you burn 500 calories. So then you think twice when you see something that says 400 calories because it's like, oh my gosh, I've beat the hell out of myself for this amount of calories.
To make all that happen.
Yeah. And you just have to rewire
What's the
your brain
longest
a
you've
little
ever
bit.
ran?
The longest I've ever? I don't
Yeah.
know. Outside, I don't know because I don't keep track. Inside, the longest I've ever
I see you
is
posting
7 miles.
pictures on the treadmill. A lot.
Sometimes I brag, yeah. It goes back to your social media. Yeah.
If you didn't brag about it, did it really happen?
It didn't happen if you don't brag about it. No,
All
I
right,
did
that's
6.61 miles in
hold
like
on.
52
I want to
minutes.
I want to get a consensus.
Yeah.
Chase, would you try the gelatinous pill?
I wouldn't try it first. I would after.
Well, I mean, it's obviously before you get your hands on it, it's gone through extensive
I don't
studies.
care. I'd wait a couple years because who knows?
Chase
It'll
would make
probably,
Katie try it first, and
yes,
then if
I
Katie
give it
lives,
to my girlfriend.
It takes almost 10 years for a medication to actually make it on the market.
I'm just saying. Who knows? It might cause cancer.
Yep.
Milk causes cancer now. Did you hear about that?
Milk has always caused cancer.
I'm just saying.
Dakota does not drink milk.
Milk's disgusting.
I love milk.
I drink a lot of milk. Milk does about it good. It says so right on TV.
Yeah.
Plus, Wilbur Shaw brought it about at the.
That's just
Indy
big
500.
dairy trying to brainwash you.
You're afraid of it causing cancer. I'm afraid of it expanding
Yeah.
100 times.
I'm
Okay,
afraid of
look,
being a
scares the
human
hell out of me.
pigeon.
I didn't want to go there, but what are the dumps going to be like, Dakota?
Just air.
Are they going to be huge?
Imagine them
is it
being
gonna hurt?
frothy, very frothy.
What
I
kind
would
of a
imagine
substance
frothy,
does
too.
it expand into?
It just says expand.
I know, but I mean,
It
if
says
it's
gelatinous.
it's a just
So I'm.
boy. That's a Bill Cosby pill right there. Oh, just JELLO. All right.
Jeremiah, would you try it?
No, probably not. I don't think I would.
I'd try it eventually.
No.
I would definitely try it.
What's the point?
Why?
I don't have the. That's not my issue.
Just
So
to see what it feels like. No, it's not like it's an
You
issue.
just want to feel a big gelatinous thing in your
I
stomach.
want to be like.
just
I
go
wa-
overeat. You'll know what it feels like.
Yeah.
No, I just want to.
Just
I
go
just
eat
want to take the pill
8 pounds
and then
of
be
turkey
like
on
and be
Thursday.
starving. I want to like.
wanna be really
I want to
hungry
be
and take the
really
pill.
hungry. Take the pill, and then after I just swallow this little pill, go. Wow, I feel stuffed. I think that'd be crazy.
Have you ever like had to pee really bad and sweat like a whole bunch and then not had to pee anymore?
No.
Think you've never done that?
No.
Really? You never been out on a hay wagon and
Yeah, like landscaping. You never did that.
Dakota's never done real work.
No.
Oh.
Because I stay very hydrated
Okay.
and I also pee a lot.
Yeah,
I'm just wondering if it's going to be like the same feeling as that. I guess it'd be
Just
a
having
little
to pee a
different.
lot?
Yeah.
Mm. I just imagine it feeling like, if you go to a buffet, if you're like me and I'm a child, when I go to the buffet, I have 7 plates and I just feel like hell for the next 6 hours.
I do that.
get
Go-
very sleepy.
I go to every once in
Very
a
sleepy.
while.
Are you gonna? Is this an invitation to go to a date at Willie and Red's?
William
Ooh.
Reds.
I
Ooh.
love Willie and Reds.
88 Buffet. Have you ever been there? in
No. Where's
Richmond?
the 88 buffet?
88 Buffet is on the east side of Richmond. It's in the old Blockbuster building, and yeah,
Nice. Good
It's
for
a-
Blockbuster for
it's a
closing
Chinese
down because
buffet.
we've gotten so many neat things
Oh yeah.
for their
We
old
had
buildings.
great.
we had beefcake burgers in our old Blockbuster, but it's gone now too.
The beefcake burgers was amazing. I'm so
I
disappointed.
never got to
I'm
try it.
so disappointed in this county for not supporting beefcake burgers.
Never got to try it. I was in school.
You were in Georgia or Florida,
Yeah.
down there at the Florida-Georgia
It
line.
was incredible. You missed it. Best
I
burger
know.
joint there was.
I know.
Okay.
So, are we?
Yeah.
We've talked about social media. This wasn't really a social media episode, but we've talked about social media a number of times.
Yeah, I didn't realize how much everything tied in together.
Mason Rottinghouse is in here saying that his favorite part of Snapchat is when I message him back. I feel like I've become a life coach. I've gotten to be this old guy, so now I find all the college kids on Facebook or on Snapchat, and I DM them.
Very soon, Jeremiah's going to be sitting on his front porch in a rocking chair, cutting an apple with a pocket knife, and handing out fortune cookies. Little snippets of thought.
Just little thoughts. Yeah. So Mason's one of my guys on the Snapchat, and I give him a little advice. Aaron Steen
So
and some
creepy.
others.
One of my guys.
One of my guys.
Do you put a bunny like nose and ears on yourself?
No, I don't. I never do that.
You don't do that.
I never do the.
Come
the
sit on my
filters.
lap, youngin'.
What do you want for Christmas this year?
Maybe we're gonna have
That's
Dakota.
Santa Claus, not
Aw,
the buddy.
Dakota get Mark's phone out. We're gonna create a Snapchat account for him right now.
A Snapchat.
Yeah, it's. I don't know.
Look at what he keeps his phone in.
What I'd like, it's leather bound. It looks like my dad's actually. My dad's got like the leather bound wallet for his phone.
This isn't really even a smartphone. This is just a
What
Wi-Fi
kind of-
phone.
That's a Motorola.
That's
phone.
right. You went over that
This
on the
is a-
last episode.
This is
It's a
Republic
Motorola, isn't
Wireless.
it?
I pay $12 a month for this.
Nice.
We've
So-
discussed that.
Oh yeah, I think it was.
You're
on.
as close to a flip phone as you can find.
I'm going back to a flip phone if I can.
No, seriously, I thought about that last week. I thought I'm gonna get rid of the smartphone and I'm just gonna go to a flip phone.
Well, look how big that thing is. How do
You
you
get
fit it in your
tired.
pocket?
I can't. But I
The
couldn't do
flip
it.
phones are.
How
I
could
couldn't do
how
it.
could we produce this show if you were if I had to
That'd be
text you?
awful.
Well, for two reasons, I couldn't do it. Because one, that's how I listen to music whenever I drive and podcasts, and two, because of Google Maps.
I had a
wouldn't be
flip
able to
phone.
get
See, I
anywhere.
don't have Google Maps. I use. Have you ever?
Don't say it. Don't you dare say it, Mark.
Mark,
you go on the
Mark
internet-
goes to the internet and he prints the directions out.
I
and
do.
And then I assume you have some sort of a clipboard on the dashboard of the Chevrolet.
Yeah. Yep. I don't, but I do have like a clip on the ashtray that.
On the ashtray.
Yeah.
Mark vapes now, so he doesn't need the ashtray, so it can
you don't need
multi-purpose.
these. Yeah, but yeah, no, I totally. I'll tell you this.
How the hell do you not know how to get to Newcastle from Richmond?
I didn't know
You're
how to get to
35
Race
years old.
Street.
Don't give away the location.
I didn't know
Are
how to
you
get
doxing
to
us?
Vine Street. I had no clue.
We do
where
have a Vine
was.
Street here.
Yeah, I had no clue where Vine Street was, so it took some time to.
We
find
are
it.
not on H Avenue anymore, Mark.
Well, it's hard to find.
Somewhere north of Q.
Yeah. So I wanted to go to the specific location. I don't have the thing, so there you
Still
go.
MapQuest.
MapQuest. Yeah. Okay, I'll tell you
Do
this.
you have a map light?
So last year, there was a guy that works where I work, and he was listening to music on a little speaker that was this big. And I said, "That's nice. What is that? What is that thing?" He said, "It's a Bluetooth speaker." I thought Bluetooth was a thing you wore in your ear.
Bluetooth is a communication medium.
So I said, "Well, where's the music coming from?" And he showed me it was on his phone. I said, "Holy shit!" And so I said, "Where do you get this at?" And he said, "Well, he told me where he bought it." And I thought, "Oh my god!" So I get off work and I go and I tell them, I said, "I want one of those little things." And I go home and I tell my wife, I'm like, "Look at this. You know how you listen to music on your phone, like off of YouTube or something? Check this shit out." And the speaker. And my wife said, "Have you been talking to other people today?" I said, "I've been showing them the speaker." And she said, "I didn't know about I just don't follow the world. I don't know."
So last time, I'm going to lead us into final thoughts.
Have you learned anything else, Mark?
Have I learned
any other
anything
new
else?
recent developments in your life that you're like, oh my god?
A lot of things. Your liquor store here in Newcastle looks like a whorehouse. There's lights everywhere, and it's amazing. I've seen a lot of great things.
I'm going to lead us into final thoughts with
Janine Lee Lake just joined us. Hi, Janine. I promise Mark's not always like this. In fact, he may have voted for you. He liked you very much.
I did. I either voted for her or Firkinoff.
Yeah.
I voted for one of those two.
Not the other guy.
Not the other guy.
That's who the real race was between, right?
Yeah, the real race. I don't want to insult.
Something non-smarts.
I don't. Yeah, actually, some people back home and we call them hashtag non-smarts, and basically it's people who don't think like we do.
That explains all of the hashtag non-smarts in the thread tonight. That
Yes.
I understood. Like, God, what am I saying wrong?
Oh yeah.
They all hate me.
So yeah, anyone who voted for Pence, we said, and I don't want to offend anyone. I'm not trying. This is an opinion. It's just fact. Anyone who voted for Pence is a non-smart. Is a very stupid person. This isn't offensive. This is just truth.
Objective.
Yeah. Did you read the Forbes article about? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
We read them.
All right. So Dakota's trying to transition us to final thoughts.
All right.
The last question
in the way of the
last question
here.
for Mark before final thoughts is: last time you came on the show was right before Jeremiah got married.
It was right before the
Has
marriage.
it been that long?
It's been that long.
You called
man.
At that time. You called him a non-smart for getting married. You said that marriage was dumb.
I said weddings were dumb.
Dang it!
Yeah.
I
Well,
was really
marriage,
hoping to catch you.
I don't like ceremony. I think weddings are dumb.
Weddings are dumb.
You're
I agree.
supposed to.
Thank you.
You were supposed to let me finish before.
Sorry, okay.
Before you
Let
said
me
that.
take I told him he was a non-smart
was
for
trying-
getting married. By God,
I was really trying
So-
to. I was really trying to set you up
Yeah.
to make you look good to your wife.
Ooh,
Because I was going to say
okay. Let's hear
that after that episode, I met you and your wife.
it. Uh-huh.
We
You've
ran
met
into
Mrs. Brim?
Yes, we ran into
Ooh.
each other.
You've met my wife.
I don't know that I have.
You have met my wife.
Maybe I have. I met your mom.
Actually, I don't know if you.
I think I met your mom.
You met my mom.
I met your mom.
When?
Oh man.
At Willie and Red's in 2000, St. Patrick's Day, 2012.
That's
Truly.
news to me.
The Libertarian Party of Wayne County.
What time was
Convention.
it?
Probably 7:30, 8 o'clock p.m. Rupert was there. Rupert Bonham, you,
Weird.
me, your mom. Yeah. Rex Bell.
The Libertarian
Party of Wayne
Party
County.
Convention.
Yeah.
In 2012.
Yeah. The area convention.
There's a photo.
Of us together.
That's my wife.
No. I think I met your mom. I don't think I met your wife.
My wife and I.
Is
Oh
she
my
much
gosh,
older?
it just took a turn for the worse.
Wait. Is she much older?
My wife, much older, or my mom?
No,
What?
his
wife
wife
may
is
have been
not
My
much
wife and I are
older.
about the same age.
I think
I
your
think-
wife's
I think-
a
I
lovely
think I have-
person.
I think I have met
I
your mom.
ran into Mark and his wife. They walked
You
into.
ran into my. Would you say? Oh, is that actually my wife did the flip flop because she asked your mom who she was because your mom
Oh
looks
yeah,
very young.
yeah.
So
My mom.
we had a lot. There's a lot of
Mark's wife
My
asked
wife.
my own mother if she was my wife.
Really?
Yeah.
Things are getting weird right now. You
Don,
saw my
it's a
wife,
weird
recognized
story.
her. You wouldn't say, "Oh, Mark and his mom are at Nora's pub tonight."
Yeah, but-
I never would have thought that,
Chase.
Mrs. Brim.
Don's smoking hot though.
Is she? Oh wait, never mind. I
He
thought
totally
I
just
was,
missed the joke.
I missed it.
God, he's
Your
Hey,
mom
wait.
is pretty hot though.
He was so dense. I dealt with it. So growing up, there were a local tattoo artist in town named Zach Lowhorn. Shout out to Underdog's Tattoo Gallery here in Newcastle, Indiana. They do fantastic work. Zach is an artist there. Growing up, him and I were pretty far apart in age, but we still hung out. And
Weird how that works.
yeah, and he always made comments about my mom to me. So at this point, I'm just totally like calloused against it.
Against it?
So if your
So you're
dad was
against-
ever,
It just
would you put in a good word for me?
yeah, sure.
Yeah, but would Bailey be okay with you?
I don't
Probably
care.
not. She knows Jacob.
I don't care.
Your mom and Bailey got matching tattoos over the weekend.
Oh,
They did.
What'd they get?
By
What'd they get?
Zach, the person I was talking about. Yeah.
Who's Zach?
Zach Lowhorn.
The guy I was just
Welcome
talking
to the
about.
show you're a host of.
Sorry, guys. Bud Light Orange.
All
Anyway,
right.
I was going
This
to
is
say.
confusing.
I was going to
so
say.
back to what you were saying.
Okay.
Yes, I was going to say. I met your wife.
You met
She
my
seemed
wife.
like a fantastic lady.
She's a fantastic.
So why would you dog on marriage? And then you were supposed to say, I was dogging on weddings, not marriage. I love my wife. And then you were going to look really
ruined
good.
your ending.
You were going to look really good to your
Yeah.
wife later, and I could have
Yeah.
cut that clip out.
And then Jeremiah met his mom/wife.
Now I don't know who I've met. I really thought your mom was there.
You met, I think, maybe at the county fair in 2012.
This is great
Right.
There was a
radio.
libertarian booth. And I think
We've
my
been to
mom's
so many
still there.
places.
I'm very confused now.
Mark,
don't know what to
Mark doesn't
believe.
leave the county very much, but
I
I got
don't
him.
leave the county.
I got him to even walk for me door to door one time.
Yeah.
We were walking down Sunnyside, and Mark's
Yeah.
phone rings. His flip phone goes off.
Yeah, my
And it's
phone.
the newspaper calling to interview Mark. I'm like, son of a gun! He doesn't even want to get on the. He doesn't want to win, and he's getting interviews, and we're trying to go door to door for me.
Yeah, I
was
forgot
proud of
about that.
Yeah.
Came here, went door to door. That was
Yeah.
fun. Got to really
Big
get the Newcastle experience.
Yeah.
So yeah, you met my wife at Norris Pub in Liberty.
Yes.
And marriage is okay. Weddings are dumb.
Do you go to Liberty a lot?
No.
Just the one time.
They just happen to walk in.
Just every now and then
All right.
to go to Norris Pub.
My father
Or Jay's.
asked who the woman was with you because he
yeah.
thought that you were a homosexual.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Of course not. All right, Chase.
Yes.
Speaking of, not that there's anything wrong with that.
You have something to say to me, Jared?
Nobody. Katie's a lovely girl.
She is a girl who's my friend. All right, so where are we going?
I don't know.
All right.
What's going on?
Is this-
What's going on in your life?
Well, I'm going to Chicago.
These are your
weekend.
final thoughts.
Again?
Okay, all right. Final thoughts.
You going to Chicago again?
I'm
What are you
going
doing this
to
time?
Chicago this weekend.
The
I got
Bears?
the Bears Vikings Sunday night football.
Oh, it's gonna
Orange jerseys.
it's gonna be cold.
It's
Are you
gonna
gonna
be cold as F.
Are you gonna make it to work on Monday?
I am off all next week.
Really?
Vacation
He got
time,
fired.
baby.
You got fired.
What are we doing?
I am going hunting.
Yeah.
I'm going to Chicago.
I've known Chase for about 7 years. He's constantly hunting, but I've never seen him kill a deer.
Well, for one thing, I was in school for like 4 of those years, and I only got to hunt maybe once or twice.
Yeah. 4 of those
year.
years, I've known him for 7 years. That means that Chase was still in school when he was 20. Yeah.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
was
the math-
I was in what's called college when I was 20. That's cool.
So, anyways, yeah, you're
it's
right,
not.
Dakota. I haven't shot anything since I was like 15. Okay,
Really?
it's been a bad couple years.
Been a dry spell.
He keeps seeing a lot of them, though.
No, I never see anything.
So why do you keep doing this?
Well, I hated it. I hated it
Really,
until like
the
I was
woods
14.
is a very meditative place.
And then I started liking it. You get away from everything. You don't have to text
Nope.
anybody.
We go fishing and you catch fish.
Don't
I
think
do.
about nothing.
I'm pretty good at fishing.
And whenever you do see an animal that you intend to kill, there's this, I don't know, it just makes the whole thing worth it. Even if you don't even get a chance to take a shot, there's like just this.
You get a little rush.
Yeah.
You get a little tingling
It's a
down
little,
there.
it's a little baby adrenaline rush.
So
where?
anyways-
Down where,
I've never
Chase?
done this before.
Down your lower regions.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I should take this sport up.
I killed one time, and then I started shaking real bad. It was like I was.
Was it your first one?
It was my first one.
Yeah, you get the shakes.
It was my second one, but it was my first buck.
Oh yeah,
It was the
That
second one
happens.
that day.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Chase
Mark,
killed
you get
two,
the shakes.
two deer in one day and he's never killed one.
You start
since.
going down,
I
and
killed
when
one.
your hands start
I've killed one.
going like this, and you're like,
Oh yeah.
Really? When you see
I
the
did-
animal, or
no,
when you kill
whenever
it.
you kill it.
Oh, when you kill it.
Yeah.
There's an animal.
And then
now.
it wasn't dead. I had to shoot it like 4 more times, and I felt really bad because once I realized it wasn't dead, it was just laying there, and I was shaking. So I missed a couple more times.
Oh, that.
Yeah,
poor
it was
animal.
really sad.
Yeah, it's still a better.
So next week you're going.
I'm going this weekend.
You're going to go
Saturday,
to Chicago
Sunday.
this weekend.
I need a place to eat Saturday night. Any suggestions?
You already had Gus's chicken.
Yes, chicken's very good.
Did you eat it? There are 2 pizzerias I would recommend.
Okay.
The Exchequer,
I haven't
you-
been there.
if you want traditional Chicago style pizza, and then Home Run Inn
Ooh.
is another good pizzeria.
Okay. What about you, Jared? You got any suggestions?
No. I mean, it's a good town. Just find something local. Don't go to Applebee's. I'll slap you. Just find something local and you'll have fun.
I was gonna take her to like P.F. Chang's or
Yeah.
Definitely. Don't go to Merchandise Mart.
okay.
Don't go there.
I will not go
Because
there.
my wife and I, we were on the L, and it said next stop Merchandise Mart, and I look out and there's a big ass building. Have you ever heard of Merchandise Mart? It's the
I have
biggest
not.
building in the U.S. I think, or biggest shopping center in the U.S. I said, son of a bitch,
It sounds
we're getting off right here.
awful.
Well, it's huge. So I said, well, let's get off and go to Merchandise Mart. So we go to Merchandise Mart. We're walking around, and it's huge, and there's a room, and we walk in this room, and there's hors d'oeuvres. Ooh. So we have some hors
Very
d'oeuvres.
premium.
Yeah. And they have some painted pumpkins, and they have gourd birdhouses. It's basically like any other street festival you've ever been to. And so then, and we're looking, and we're like, this is, and candles. We don't give a shit about any of this. So my wife goes to the bathroom. She's in the bathroom. Security guard walks up to me. He's like, "You got a pass to be in here?" I said, "I have a pass to be in here." He said, "You need to have a pass to be in here. This is a closed event." He said, "You can't see any of this stuff." I said, "The world has seen painted pumpkins." He said, "You got to get out of here." I said, "Well, my wife's in the bathroom." He said, "We'll wait." And so she gets out of the bathroom. He says, "You guys got to get out. This is a closed event." And he escorts us out into the hallway, and that is why I will never
I'm not
going to
give them one penny.
No, don't go there.
Mike Broyles is saying you need to go to Lou Maldano's Pizza.
Oh, I've been there. That was very good.
Or Malnatus? I don't know how to pronounce that one. Mike is very cultured.
Malnatus.
Malnatus. It's in the city. You go to Chicago a lot.
I love Gus's. Nothing to me will ever be Gus's fried chicken.
I love Gus's. I've been twice this year. This will be my second time. I went once last year, but like before that, I hadn't been since I was like 12.
Dakota and I are supposed to go in a couple months.
Yeah, I think Audrey and I have gone 3 times this year.
Yeah, we're supposed to go in January.
Yep.
It's nice.
It'll be
not
nice
too
and
far
cold.
away.
The river will be blocks again.
Yes. I love Chicago in the wintertime. There's not a lot of people there.
The homeless people are tucked away.
It is exactly how you imagine Chicago because that's how it's always portrayed in the movies. So you
Cold,
get that
windy.
experience. Yeah. And like I said, it's just not that busy, so you can just do whatever you want.
You just go full Ferris Bueller. Can't watch baseball. That's the only problem. Otherwise,
That's
it's good.
okay. Cubs suck.
So you're going to Chicago,
What about that one?
and then you're going to kill Bambi.
Yes, that's my plan for my vacation. I'll play a lot of Red Dead Redemption 2.
Tuesday though, you're going to come. You're going to
Such
do
a
the
good
show.
game.
You're going to
It
do the
is
show
so
Tuesday.
good.
Red Dead. I have not played that yet. How much is it on the
so
Xbox?
good.
Is it like free like
Probably
Fortnite or is it like
60.
$60?
It's probably
60.
60. Yeah.
Sarah will
60.
never approve that.
The first one was really good. I played the first one when I was like 15. Really good game. The second one's still pretty good too.
Yeah, I mean, it's been in development for 8 years.
Yeah, like forever.
You got any final thoughts?
Only other final thought. I had something, boys.
We can come back to you.
Come back to me.
We'll come back.
Mark Brim,
Lost
final
it.
thoughts.
I was trying to look up a pizza place in Chicago I really liked, but the name is just not coming back to me, so yeah.
That's okay.
Anyway, what's the one? This isn't the one I was thinking. What's the pizza that's now in Indy? That's really,
Giordano's.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, that was a big thing, but now you can get it like in
In
two different
Indy.
spots in Indy. So it's
Yeah,
not
so
it's not like
screw
you
it.
go to Chicago and you got to have it. You
It's
just
kind of
go
like
to
Yingling.
the north side.
Yeah.
We all freaked out about Yingling coming to Indiana.
Oh yeah.
I like the Yingling Black and Tan.
And I was just kind of like,
I do like the black and tan.
It's an excellent beer.
Mm-hmm.
you didn't buy it tonight.
I have it at home. I got a 12-pack at home. Tonight I bought I bought the Kalamazoo Stout. Bell's, the people that make Two Hearted. This is their dark chocolatey Kalamazoo Stout. They're based in Kalamazoo, Michigan.
It's a great stout.
It's good. It's ridiculously expensive. It's like $12 for a 12-pack or for a 6-pack. So that's like
What do you think of that
that's like
Warsteiner?
$2 a beer.
That Warsteiner Dunkel.
This is really good. I like this.
So there,
Yeah.
and I guess this can be part of my final thoughts.
Uh-huh.
In Oldenburg, every year, in Oldenburg, Indiana,
Mm-hmm.
which it's not that far of a drive for you.
Yeah, not really.
They have Freudenfest every year, and Freudenfest is a German festival. It's called the biggest little German festival in the state. Is what they call it. And you go in, you purchase tickets. You purchase beer garden tickets.
Beer garden tickets.
And there is all kinds of German beers on tap that you go around and you just trade tickets for the beer. And tickets are $2 a piece for an entire pint.
Nice.
I bought this Stein there for $3, I think.
Really?
And for $2, they'll fill my Stein up, which holds 2 12-ounce bottles of beer. So for $2, I can get 24 ounces of that Dunkel at Freudenfest. And they have fantastic food, games. Everyone dresses in their Lederhosen.
Yeah.
It's a great time. You should really come next year.
Next year.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
I'll text
2019.
you. All right.
Text me.
The
You don't know my number.
The year
but-
of Mark getting out.
Yes, it is. 2019 will be that year. So final thoughts?
That's it.
Okay, let me tell you something. Let me tell you a story. This is a very brief story. I'm confused by this. My dog, his ears look kind of bad. His ears did not look good.
Did you not let him in? Is it frostbite?
And
He's
it's
out.
not-
He's out in the ice storm.
He's not out there. I've had my dog for 10 years now. We've been together 10. It's my longest relationship ever. And so his ears were looking like horrible. So I take him to the vet, and the vet said his ears, I had put some antibacterial medicine or antifungal medicine. He said his ears are great. There's not an infection, but he's flapping around too much. He's scratching them too much. So you need to tie his ears up over his head.
I think there's a children's song about this.
Really? And this sounds like I'm setting up a joke. This really happened
You
this
gotta
week.
tie
I
him
went
up
to the
in a
vet.
bow. Your ears hang low.
Yeah, that is a
yeah,
song.
yeah.
He said you need to tie him up. He
Yeah.
said, here's the thing. He's going to shake them free so they won't stay tied. I said, oh, then what should I do? He said, well, you should tie him up. Oh, okay, I'll tie him up. He said, they won't stay that way. Oh.
Oh, my God. Please tell me you pierced your dog's ears.
So I
You
said,
could tie them.
so they won't stay that way at all. He said, no. I said, well, then what do you think I should do? He said, oh, you should definitely tie him up. And I said, okay. I said, I'll tie him up. He said, okay. He's like, here's the thing, though. I said, what's that? He's like, it's not going to stay that way at all. And I thought, what? So then he said, do you want me to tie them up? I said, you tie them up.
That'll be $75.
It was $15 for the visit.
Ooh.
Really?
I like this vet. But he's confusing. I think he's messing with. So he ties them up. I said, oh, so do that. He's like, it's not going to stay that way. He said, so get some of this bandage.
Is Bob Newhart your veterinarian?
This was Bob. This was a comment. Like I was expecting to hear an audience laughing. So then my dog gets down from the table and shakes his head. Ears come out. He's like, it's not gonna stay that way. And I said, so. And he's like, so they need to be tied up for about 10 days. I said, so tie his ears up for 10 days. He's like, they probably will not stay tied. I don't. And then I go out and then I pay $15 and leave. And then I take the dog home, and I tried again to put the bandage back, and my wife said, what's going on here? I said, they need to be tied up for 10. She said, they're not gonna stay that way. But there's no end to this story, but that's my final thought. That's just been bouncing in my head all week.
My German Shepherd has a really bad dry skin during the wintertime, and last year she was itching at her ear so bad she took a chunk out of one of them.
Oh, like at the end of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think my dog's been doing that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Have you bought a
hell.
humidifier?
We do have humidifiers. This happened
That's
during
a
the
great
summer.
idea,
I've
Jer.
been nursing this condition like for months now, but yeah, it's not getting any better. But once I tie his ears up,
I went
So-
humidifier route. 3 o'clock in the morning, Sarah discovered what it was like to be married to me. Finally, 3 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday, I woke up and I about 3 days in a row. I'm like, oh, we need to put that humidifier on. You got to turn the humidifier on.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, I was like, I can't breathe. It was bad. I was all dried out. The first time it gets cold is like when cold sucks outside and the inside you start to feel all the crap that's happening. Right, the house is starting to dry out and your body's not accustomed to it.
Mm-hmm.
So I've woke up with the bad scratchy throat 2 or 3 nights in a row, and like 3 a.m. I can't breathe. So I'm like, I know there's a humidifier somewhere in that closet. So I go in and I turn the closet light on, and I turn the bathroom light on, and I'm traipsing from one room to the next, trying to and then there's nowhere to put it. And I'm like, I got to get a table, so I got to drag a table in from the hallway, and then it needs a gallon of water, so I got on the hall to the tub and I fill it up and I drag it in and
To the tub.
to the tub because I couldn't fill it up in the sink. It's a whole big gallon thing. And I drag it back to the house or drag it back to the bedroom and plug it in, and it's on and it's running. And then I get back to the bed, and Sarah's stolen all of the sheets. and then she wouldn't give them back.
Getting a king size bed in the new house.
It's a great life.
I can't tell you. I really can't tell you the difference. Like, it's been amazing.
I do.
Hasn't?
Yeah.
I have to start. I have to start sleeping aggressively though. Like when we lay down, I know I'm going to lose some space, so I have to start over that line, and then I slowly retreat over the course of the
Audrey
evening.
was always a bed hog, but we were in a queen size bed, and now she's so accustomed to being a bed hog on a queen size bed that in a king size bed it just doesn't matter.
So now you just have like your own space.
Yeah. It
Awesome.
doesn't matter at all.
I have to.
So start out on a queen size, and then after a couple years or a year, move up to a king.
Yes.
Okay.
I threaten to say, if you're not going to use that side of the bed, I'm going to get up and I'm going to go around and get on that side of it myself then.
I did that once, actually. Yeah, I climbed in over there because my side of the bed always was more aligned with the television in the bedroom. So she would always sit over there whenever I was at work, and she was still in school. And I just got tired of it. I was like, well, I'm just gonna go sleep on this side. And well, it didn't work. It didn't do anything. But I felt like I had accomplished something.
Little victory in your mind.
You guys know how I get used to the cold weather?
How do you get used to cold weather?
I go out and I start my car every morning in my underwear.
Do you really?
What?
No matter how cold it is.
Put a show on for Grandma.
Oh, I do. I just walk right out there, man. It is
Whenever I was a
liberating.
kid. Okay, this is a weird story. This is the last thing I'm going to say because we've gone on way too long.
I live in the middle of nowhere. So it's
Whenever I was a
You
kid,
live on our major road, Chase.
far off the road. Like they really have to be looking. To
Unless
see
your
anything.
vehicle is carbureted, it doesn't need to warm up.
whenever I was a kid,
Well,
I lived
It's
in
for driver comfort.
Yeah,
I
I,
lived
don't want
in,
to freeze.
Louisville, Indiana. Whenever I was a little kid, and we lived right on 103. So, and I had huge dreams whenever I was a small child. Huge.
You hoped maybe someday you'd have an internet TV show.
No, I wanted to.
He actually did have that. Too.
I wanted to do a polar plunge whenever I was a child.
Oh my God, let's take
I
the
would
cover
do
off
it
my
with
pool.
you.
Let's do it tonight.
And I used to go outside whenever I was a kid in my underwear and lay down in the snow because I thought I was training for the polar plunge. I was like 6.
The look on Mark Brim's face
Wow.
right now.
It toughened me up,
Okay,
though.
I remember
That's
what I was
why I
gonna
have
say.
a beard.
I remember
go.
what I was going to say.
All right, Chase.
All right. I have
Final
a couple
thoughts from
things.
Chase Payton.
Final thoughts. I'm going to be tailgating. I'm probably going to get effed up. Probably going to get effed
Yeah,
up.
we've hit a new level here.
So, according to Apple's rules, Jeremiah, you now have to put
Earmuffs,
the little
kids.
E.
I'm probably going to get effed up Saturday night.
This is why old people hate
I
you.
need yes. I need some liquor. What should I get?
I just think of beer.
Well, I'm going to get beer.
Do you have
Gin?
no. Do you have a CVS here in this town?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, we do.
CVS has a Grand Legacy. It's $8.99 for about a barrel, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go.
All right. That solves it. All right. Second thing is I don't actually hate all old people. I was very upset when I found out Stan Lee died this week.
Stanley from The Office?
Yes.
What's the conversion between Stanley Nichols and Schrutbucks?
Oh, my goodness.
So I was very upset over that. I only hate old people.
Well, now
With
the
stupid
last old people you liked, the last old
died.
person you liked
Yeah.
died, so now you hate them all again.
I
What's
hate
the
'em all.
cutoff? Do
Really?
you hate a 64-year-old?
Oh, trust me. I'm into older women.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I hate old people with stupid opinions, which just so happens to be a lot of people in this town. So, yeah. Some old people are fine. Like, I like my grandparents for the most part. I like some other people. I hang out with Jer.
Mike
oh, my goodness.
Broyles.
There you go.
Mike Broyles, the landlord, says, thanks for not hating.
I met Mark.
Mike.
Mark, whatever.
Okay, give me a smaller one next time. I met Mike, and he was a great guy. I liked him a lot.
Mike will not rent you the apartment upstairs because you live with your grandma.
I burnt that bridge a long time ago. But no, he's a great guy. I like a lot of old people, just not the stupid ones. So that's the last thing I wanted to say. R.I.P. Stan.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow, this has been an
Poor
episode.
Stanley.
Now, you mentioned Stan Lee.
Yes.
And I don't want to keep things going
Who
too long,
obviously created Batman.
but I do want to say this Spider-Man.
Yes, he created Spider-Man.
Anyways.
Did he not create Batman?
No, he didn't.
Who do you-
Batman's
Gosh.
DC.
It's DC versus Marvel.
So he only created Marvel?
Yes.
Well, that changed my whole opinion about
Well,
it.
yeah, maybe you don't like him. So I don't want to be too dark here, but there's not much time left in 2019. Any other guests?
Betty White.
Oh, really?
I think she's next, man.
You think so?
I think so. She's old. Have you seen her lately?
I don't know. Have we checked on Abe Vigoda lately? Is he doing okay?
Abe Vigoda died.
Is Abe Vigoda dead?
You told me he died.
Ooh,
Damn.
Yeah.
John McCain.
Oh, no. The mayor of Rushville? We're all on John's side.
Dick Van Dyke, how's he doing?
Jerry's not good. Dick's hanging in there.
Probably
Jerry's
died.
not good?
Jerry's gone.
Yeah, Jerry's gone.
We lost Jerry last January.
So who do you think, do you think there will be another iconic celebrity that will die before this year is out? And who do you think it is?
Iconic celebrity.
Yeah,
We're gonna kill somebody off
We're gonna
right
kill.
now.
Yeah, I just was wondering. There's the,
Oh.
who you think?
Jim Carrey.
Clint Eastwood.
Jim Carrey.
Great. Clint Eastwood?
He's getting up there.
He's getting up there, but he's
getting up there, but he's got zipper
kill
heads
off
to take
Apu
care
from
of.
The Simpsons.
Oh yeah, okay. I think that's a safe bet actually. Yeah.
He's in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did die.
He's
They
not
come
going to
in
make
threes.
it. Sarah's very upset about the Betty White thing.
I like Betty White. Have you seen old pictures of her? She used to look fine.
She really did. Yeah.
Chase. At what point on the Chase Payton matrix of old women did Betty move off your list of it'd be okay?
10 years ago. About 75.
That was more like 20 years
Okay,
ago.
20 years ago.
Roy Clark died today. Mark, did you know that?
Who's that?
Yeah, I had heard that.
I saw that.
He was an old country and western artist.
I didn't know who he was, but
You
I got
didn't
the
know who Roy
notification.
Oh, my grandmother was a
Kids.
big Roy Clark fan. Yeah. All right. Well, we're done burying celebrities
Yeah.
for now. David Pearson died this week, too, so that one kind of sucked.
Don't know who that is.
He was the second winningest driver in NASCAR history.
He died the same day as Stanley
As
from
Stanley,
The Office.
As Stanley.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Stanley.
Oh,
And Stanley.
He never even made it to retirement. Poor Stanley. He worked all those years. At least he had pretzel day.
He did. He did retire.
He did
If
retire.
you watched the last episode of
Oh.
The Office.
Oh, yeah. He did.
Spoiler alert.
Right.
Everybody just wants to watch their kids grow
Michael
up and get married
left.
to each other. All right. Well, this has been fun. Yeah, I really got nothing. Sarah and I have been watching a lot of the Netflix, that's the 70s and 80s shows or whatever. There's a
the CNN.
the CNN
Yeah.
thing, yeah. And I've been watching it mostly in preparation for Mark Brim Week, knowing that you were probably coming on, and just going, man, Mark would love this. And it was a lot of the 70s and 80s TV and talking about the history of television. And
Oh,
I know
yeah.
that is your wheelhouse.
Oh, yeah.
So
That's a good series.
yeah.
They've done 60s, 70s, and 80s. I
yeah,
think.
and we kind of just watched bits and pieces. Would watch this episode
I
and
think
that episode.
Audrey and I watched the 60s. It was really interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know they continued it.
Yeah, that's a good series.
Yeah, but the one on the 80s and then on the 90s, they did a 90s.
There's a
portion as
90s
well.
one.
Yeah,
Is
and
that
there
on
was-
Netflix now?
Yeah, there was,
you'll
and it
have
was
to
the
check that out.
TV, and it was they were talking about Everybody Loves Raymond, and it was basically the people the head writer was like basically the folks on my staff, their job was to go home, get in a fight with their wife, and then come into work the next day and tell me about it. And we were going to put it on
I
the
like
show.
that show.
I loved that show. Yeah.
It's a good show.
It's good stuff. So anyway, that's what's going on. Next Tuesday, we've got Brent Terhune coming on. Thursday is Turkey Day. The Newcastle turkey has made the grand reappearance. We don't know how it's possible, how it's happened,
It's
but there
been,
have been some
controversial
messages.
posts.
I don't know if it's the turkey's
It's
kind of
not just
self-aware,
us.
but it also seems to be. It's not us really. It's
I
somebody
haven't
else.
posted on there in a
But
year.
the turkey seems to be going back and forth between becoming self-aware of what might be happening next week, or giving recipes for what to cook or how to cook. And then I also think the turkey really needs to have like a strong anti-vaxxer tent, but nobody else seems to agree. But I think the turkey needs to be full anti-vax, full no hormone, just go absolutely crazy on that side. But nobody, the turkey writers don't think that's funny.
I posted an anti-vaxxer meme today. It was pretty good.
You did. So anyway, we're having some fun with that. Watching that account. Go like the Newcastle Turkey page. Some friends that you've had on this show have been involved with that in the past. So yeah, that's that. And then following that, just let us know what you want to hear on the show. We've got there's some laughing going on in the corner. Dakota's going to start reading memes to the world. Yeah, tune in next week, Brent Terhune, and then we'll have Thanksgiving. Then after that, we don't have it planned yet, but it'll be great. It always is. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.
Thank you for listening to the Boss Hog of Liberty, which is part of the We Are Libertarians Network. I am Chris Spangle, and I am the founder of this network, and I invite you to listen to all of our shows, which you can find at WeAreLibertarians.com or by searching for these in your podcatcher. The flagship show is the We Are Libertarians podcast, where we apply libertarian principles to current events. The Brian Nichols Show is a conversation amongst Republicans, Democrats, Libertarians, Independents, as they talk about what is happening in the news. And we have many other podcasts like The Chris Spangle Show, Upward, The Cost, Raw Audio Politics, Miranda's World, and Tad Talk, which is quite a ride. So check all of these out. Go to WeAreLibertarians.com, and you can check out all of our great podcasts. Thanks for listening. Thank you for listening to the We're Libertarians Network. Get our other shows at We'reLibertarians.com.